this is Scott with Scott's Garage. Another beautiful morning here in Montana at my parents' place. So really isn't Scott's garage. This would be my father's garage. But this project's been here for years. My dad's 84 years old, and this has been a project we've had together. And anyway, this Jeep has been in this location on blocks for literally a couple of years. And what I'm going to do is we're going to go through the brakes, and eventually we will go through the brakes, and I'll have a completely separate episode on that. Anyway, we pulled wheels off, and this front bearing was just shot. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to replace just the front passenger bearing. There's actually two sets of bearings, and that's what this episode will be about. And we'll eventually go through the brakes, but basically we want to be able to take it off the blocks and push it out of the garage and start it for the first time. And to do that, I'll need the bearings in there. Okay, here are the old parts of the bearing. So you can see there's two bearings. This is just one wheel, and the races for each of the bearings. So this rides in there and so forth. I probably could get away with using these races, but I've ordered new ones. Let's see if they'll come in. But this particular, again, this is 1946, and there's two different sets of bearings possible, but this one has the Timken 18520 as far as the race, and the bearing is same thing, Timken, but 18590. There you can see how this bearing is shot. Now, these are all original parts, so like this nut, you can see someone used a chisel to loosen it, and I can understand why. I mean, this is huge, but they didn't use the proper tools. Probably out in the middle of a farm, and they loosened it that way with the chisel. I'll eventually get new nuts for this, but I'm going to reuse these for now for what I have to do to simply get it to roll. I'll probably file that down a little bit. And this is the original washer keeper, and you notice that this is bent up, and I'll show you why, but I'm going to use a hammer and straighten that out, and I'll likewise reuse this. I'll probably eventually replace it with a new one. Okay, I'm going to put the first race in, or cup, and you want to make sure that this is the hub, and on the inside here that the thick part goes down, because the bearing then will roll in there. I'm going to put some grease on the outside here so it goes in a little bit easier. Okay, next we need to pack the bearings with grease, and the easiest way would actually be a bearing packer, O'Reilly's or Harbor Freight. You can buy them pretty inexpensively now, and it's just a little plastic thing with the grease gun. You pump it, and it does a really good job. I don't have one here, so I'm going to do it the old way, and you have to pack them correctly though. And how you do it is you put a little bit of grease in your hand. And basically, you push it in, and you want to just keep on doing that, move it around, push down, pull back, push down, pull back, and you just to keep doing that, both sides of the bearing, and you keep packing it in, literally pushing down, packing that grease in, and you'll be amazed at how much grease you can actually put in. and you want to, just overdo it. Just keep pushing down, turning a little bit, pushing down. I'll have to put more grease on the palm of my hand here in a second, but that's how you do it. Okay, both bearings have been greased and packed. So what I'm going to do now is put one of them in. They're identical bearings. So I'm going to put it in this way, so it's a cone shape. This is the inside. I put it straight in, and then put the seal in. Put a little bit of grease around the rubber part of the seal. And make sure that the seal too is tapered, that you want it to widen as you go in, so it seals it correctly as it goes in. So this part down, where it says the National and stuff, that faces this way. Okay, next we're going to put the hub back over this. Okay, there it is. Okay, now the second bearing, and likewise you want it tapered in. Just slide it in place. Now we're going to put that little keeper in. There's a slot. You just line up the slot. This is the old one, it's all beat up, but it'll work for now.
Is it okay if I start fixing the breakfast now?
That'd be great.
Okay, I'll start fixing. Boy, this garage is a mess.
We're going to get the wheels on, and we'll actually get the Jeep out, and we'll get it cleaned today.
Gonna have a what?
The wheels are going to be put on, we're going to roll it out, and we'll clean the garage today.
Oh, good. And it doesn't take up much room. We just get in the right places.
Right.
And get back in there.
Yeah. Well, we'll get it all cleaned
Well,
up.
you're gonna clean the garage. That means everything gets
Huh?
cleaned up.
Yes, it is. That's what we're doing, right?
Okay, I'll start cooking.
Okay, put the nut on.
Huh?
I'm making a video. You're going to be on YouTube
When are you gonna make the video?
right now.
All right. How long will it take?
No, it's recording. You're going to be on YouTube eventually.
What?
Yeah,
Who's gonna be on YouTube?
you will.
Oh no.
Your voice
Yes, you're
will.
talking right now.
Are you filming now?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, Dad, did you find your torque wrench?
No, I'm still looking. I just seen it the other day, Scott.
Okay.
And I'm still looking. I gotta get this box out of here. Some of the men's shoes, I'm gonna put these in the Explorer. And I gotta take them to the Goodwill.
Okay, to do this job correctly, you need a bearing removal tool, which is large enough to handle the big bearing nut here. I don't have that tool, and also you need a torque wrench to put that first nut on and torque it correctly, and then back it off and get it the bearing to seat correctly. I don't have those tools. When I redo the brake job, I'll do it correctly. What I'm going to do is simply put it on, use the old method of the rancher using the chisel and the hammer, but it'll be good enough for now. Hey, thanks for making it this far in the video. If you like this video, please hit like. If you haven't subscribed to Scott's Garage, please do so. So as you can see, we were able to get this old Jeep out of the garage. We were able to clean the garage, made my mother very, very happy. She cooked us a wonderful breakfast, and my dad was able to get to the Goodwill. Have a great day.